Then the third and final swing, I want you to process those first two, and with the third and final swing, make it the biggest swish yet, the loudest swish. Really going to town. Don't be scared of it feeling out of control. That's power. Hi everyone, Murdoch here, hope you're well. Now in this video, I want to target the lady golfer. Senior ladies, or any lady actually, that feels like they're lacking in distance. They want more distance. They want to flight their hybrids and fairway woods better off the fairway, get a bit more height. So I want to focus this lesson on them. So this is for Linda. Thank you very much for commenting and asking for that. So in order to get more distance, you obviously have to increase that club head speed, as well as improve the strike. Now, club head speed, let's focus on how we do that. Now, in order to get speed in the club head, we've got to swing faster. In order to swing faster, we've got to have good range of motion in the rotation, and we've also got to have a good grip that will allow the correct hinge, both in the backswing and through. Now, the ladies that I've taught in the past, a lot of common ground that I see with them is not only maybe a poor rotation. Certainly as you get older we get stiffer, so we've got to accept that. So I'm going to suggest a turning drill, my hands on shoulders exercise. If you've not watched it, if you look that up and watch that, you've got a lovely drill to do at home or on the first tee before you play to warm up the bigger muscles. The thing I want to focus on first is making sure that you've got a good range of motion with your wrists. Now I want you to grip correctly, and I want to make sure, if you're not correct, that you've got a little bit more of a stronger look to your left hand, so i.e. seeing 3 knuckles rather than 1. I'd rather you be a little stronger, and then the right hand, make sure you're in the fingers, okay? The reason why is because you've got a better range of motion in your wrists. The next check I want you to make with yourself is see if you can set up and hinge your wrists as far as you can directly up with the club shaft. So if you're setting up in front of a mirror, as I am here, the camera, move the club in an upwards way like this, directly up, and I want to see if you can get a full 90 degrees pretty much from your arms to the club shaft. This is good news. This then tells you, once you do a good turn in the backswing, that you can hinge correctly to that point at chest high where you're forming again kind of that 90 degree. I want to feel like you've got a good hinge of the wrists. Now I say this because I've taught ladies, and a number of them over the years, where that club head or the left hand goes underneath and then you bow the wrist like this. It's a very weak position that encourages a bit of folding of the left arm, a strain on the left wrist, and then to deliver the club, it's an underneath flick. It's sort of helping it up in the air, if you like, with the right hand. When what you've got to try and process and digest, I call it, a pause and think moment, is the way the wrists work is as I showed you just now, with a hinging up motion, and that little simple test like this will test how they feel, if there's any pain, and your ability to do that. Because your body turning will create a position for your wrist to hinge like that, and you'll feel the left thumb underneath the shaft supporting it. Then as you turn through, we want to feel we can hinge to the mirror opposite position here. I want you to just then focus on a halfway back position where your hands are opposite your chest, through, feeling like you can create the sound of a light swish with the feeling of that turning hip. The left hip turns and the wrists are now activated. We've got to get that feeling through impact of the wrist delivering the club like that. You've got a tee in the ground, like I'm putting here. And I want you to stand on the range in your correct setup. Make sure you are correct with not too wide a stance as well. Too wide will encourage lack of rotation from being too restricted. So narrow it if you feel it's easier to turn. Now I want you to make some swings, focusing on the wrists and hinging that correct way. So you'll feel at the top the left thumb underneath the shaft. Then a real focus for your downswing of the left hip clearing. You clip the tee and allow yourself to flow to a complete finish best you can, where the whole front of your body is facing down the range. I want you to hit that tee peg. No ball. I want you to hit the tee peg because you can notice two things. The path the club is on for good direction, and you can hear the swish, the sound made by the club head as it passes through. First one, nice and steady, focusing on that wrist feeling more than anything else. Downswing, a clearing, and clip that tee. The next swing, regroup and get that feeling back from the first practice swing. You're going to try and add seemingly 1 mile an hour more speed. So you're going to do it again with a bit more confidence. Up. Then the third and final swing, I want you to process those first two, and with the third and final swing, make it the biggest swish yet, the loudest swish. Really going to town. Don't be scared of it feeling out of control. That's power and freedom of the body's rotation pulling your arms and club through to this position. So your whole swing will feel a little longer. Now the swish tells you the club head speed is getting faster. So the louder the swish, the more club head speed you're developing. So basically, after checking your wrists, checking your mobility in that new range of motion from maybe changing that left hand grip to a slightly stronger position, so that way you're hinging and feeling the thumb underneath the shaft. With the correct wrist hinge, you can deliver the club faster. You can see how the wrists don't have to travel very far, but look how much further the club head's gone to create that swish. So 3 practice swings, each one add a little bit more speed than the previous. So your third one is the loudest swish, denoting a fastest club head. And then when you put a ball down on that tee, your goal is nothing other than duplicating that third practice swing. That's all that matters. I want you to just go, what the heck, I don't care where it goes. I want to clone that last practice swing, and I'm trying to hit the middle of the club. So you just focus on the back of the ball. You trust it. You've hit the tee peg. You know you can hit the ball. And just notice then when you get your rhythm adapted to it and the timing, how that extra speed developed from the improved wrist action will create another 10-15 yards pretty much overnight. Like and subscribe if you haven't. I really appreciate your support. Comments are welcome down below with ideas for new videos, and I look forward to seeing you again. Take care.